Welcome folks, one and all, to the greatest show in the galaxy. We've got plenty for fun and plenty to enjoy, so let us roll out the characters and the story. And trying to do the best as I can for the greatest show in the galaxy. Let me hear you say it's the greatest show in the galaxy. You ain't seen nothing yet. Welcome folks to the greatest show in the galaxy. Please enjoy. Right, I'll just go and get the act. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Nick here, and welcome to my review of Doctor Who Season 25, Story 4, The Greatest Show in the Galaxy. The final story of this season, and this was supposed to be the second story actually. The originally planned Remembrance of the Daleks to be broadcast, I think it must be 3 weeks earlier than originally planned, because then that would give at least a week. It was planned to be at the start of September, and then this story would have followed, and then Silver Nemesis for the 25th anniversary, because JNT wanted Remembrance as the opening story and Silver Nemesis as the 25th anniversary broadcast story, and then Happiness Patrol would have followed as the season finale. Although if it had been the start of if it had broadcast at the start of September, it might make sense for Remembrance of the Daleks, Greatest Show in the Galaxy, then Happiness Patrol, then Silver Nemesis. Perhaps. Maybe not. Anyway, but because of, I think it must have been some production issues with this story, it was, I suppose it was swapped with Happiness Patrol, and so Happiness Patrol went second. Oh wait, I know what it was. It was the, Remembrance of the Daleks was pushed back, because they were doing the coverage of the BBC One was covering the Sochi, I think it was, the Summer Olympics of that year. For some reason they got into September. The Paralympics, yes, but not the actual Summer Olympics. They're a July-August thing. Maybe they lasted longer back than those days, or they started later. But yes, remember the Daleks started at the start of October. Then you got Happiness Patrol. Then you got Silver Nemesis, and now we got the Greatest Show in the Galaxy. They had, because of the pushback, possibly maybe even some production issues with Greatest Show, because Greatest Show had been under quite a lot of production problems. JNT managed to secure them having a big giant circus tent at Elstree Studios. I don't know if that was for the exterior shots or if it was just the interior shots. But it's thanks to JNT that we got this story. So say what you like about JNT, but he managed to get this story made. And he is quite a perseverative person in the Doctor Who. When he was showrunner, the producer, he managed to get Doctor Who made and keep it on the air as long as he could. So to say what you like about him, say what you like about his decisions and creative methods, you can't deny he at least got the job done, and he kept the show on screen for at least one more decade. When at a time where, well, after Tom Baker's departure, maybe people wouldn't be so keen on the show. And especially after the creative decisions of the Colin Baker era, and with the BBC attempting to get it cancelled, he managed to keep it on the air during the years of the Sylvester McCoy era. And I think in this case, this proves it really well. The story itself is also really good, with the Doctor and Ace going to the psychic circus. Ace not in the mood for the circus, as she doesn't like clowns. On the way, they meet Captain Cook, who, yes, he does have a name similar to that of a British explorer, and Mags, who turns out to be a werewolf creature. But she's actually a really nice character in her human form. The cook is a bit of a pompous prat, and who turns a bit of a kind of an evil side to him later on. They then head to the Psychic Circus via a cameo from Peggy Mount of Oliver, the film fame, as a local. And they eventually get there and discover that the Psychic Circus is not as great as it used to be. And they discover that it's being taken over by this evil, which turns out to be the gods of Ragnarok. And yeah, it's really interesting seeing this mystery play out. It's quite fun watching the characters go around. It's got some interesting side characters. Bellboy, he's pretty cool. I think he commits suicide in this story by same with Lady Penthorpe in Silver Nemesis. Goodness, this season has a lot of suicide. In Bellboy's case, he has the robots try and strangle him. Well, he has the robots strangle him. We don't hear his cry out, and we don't see it, but we have the Chief Clown going very happily. So we can probably assume that Bellboy commits suicide. Speaking of the Chief Clown, he's a fun villain character. He's quite soft-spoken. I suppose he could give people... I guess this character beat Tim Curry's It in the original It miniseries, predating the Bill Skarsgård It from the films by just over by nearly three decades. But I suppose Chief Clown beats Tim Curry's It by his Pennywise by 2 years, I think, at least, by being a creepy clown and being a very soft-spoken character. But you could if he wasn't, but if Ace wasn't already scared of clowns, he could be a character who could draw you into a false sense of security before revealing the trap, like he does with the Doctor. And we also got the Ringmaster, who's pretty fun. He's really fun. He gets to sing and sort of rap, and gets to proclaim that this is the greatest show in the galaxy. And we also got Morgana, who's sort of a fortune teller, and she's kind of having some other second thoughts about all of this, and she's getting frightened. The two sadly then end up dying after the Doctor and Mags escape. And to be honest, part 4, the gods of Ragnarok get really impatient for acts. You see, they're pretending to be a mother, father, and a daughter in the audience, and they're the bits when it's just the 3 of them talking actually quite annoying, though it makes sense why they're there in the first place. And they're providing the scores and then killing people if they don't find them entertaining enough. But somehow after the 3-act in 1 bit, they get impatient for it. Maybe the Doctor does something to them. But yeah, they get impatient. Eventually, the Doctor goes down to investigate what's going on. And like I said, it's all quite interesting seeing the characters try and solve the mystery and trying to investigate what's going on. Some really cool set pieces, some nice location work, great practical effects. I love the bit when the Doctor's walking past the tent and there's an explosion right behind him. That's towards the end of part 4, after he defeats the gods of Ragnarok. That's really cool. And yeah, some really great stuff. I don't think it's 100% perfect. I think it was a little bit slow in places, but not too slow. It doesn't drag. It's really well done. And the characters are nice. And so you also got some other cool supporting characters. What's his name? Brocht. He's a pretty stupid guy. I'm glad he gets axed off. This guy here, in the middle. Yeah, he gets killed off. And there's also WizKid, who's this fun little kid guy. And yeah, it's very apparent that he's a parallel to a Doctor Who fan at the time. They're drawing parallels to that one fan who's still with the show. And yeah, thanks Stephen White for addressing the elephant in the room with the lines, "Of course, it's not as good as it used to be, but I still really love you," or something along those lines. It's still really amazing. Something something along the lines of what WizKids said about the Psychic Circus, basically being a mirror image of, or being a parallel to Doctor Who at the time, saying, oh, we know it's not as great as it used to be, but it's still really great. We still really like it. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Stephen Wyatt. Thank you. And to be honest, I actually think season 25 is one of the strongest seasons overall. So, on the whole, Greatest Show in the Galaxy is a fun, enjoyable, and entertaining story. And I know it's a very popular one amongst Sylvester McCoy fans. Although in a 2015 book about it, apparently it wasn't that popular amongst the McCoy fans, but popular amongst general Doctor Who fans. But I think certainly is definitely that. But I think McCoy fans do love this story as well. There might be, maybe they love some underrated gems more or almost as much. But yeah, as for me, I think this is a good story and a really good execution wise. And yeah, despite the production problems, they managed to do a very good job. So I'm going to be giving The Greatest Show in the Galaxy a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I think it's 100% perfect, but I still think it's pretty strong. It's a pretty strong story. So that's it from Greatest Show in the Galaxy, and that's it from season 25. Next time, the season 25 ranking, and then we'll be taking a look at the first story of the final season of Doctor Who, the classic series, season 26 opener story, Battlefield. And we'll also be taking a look at its special edition as well. We'll take a look at the original TV version and the special edition, not the VHS version that will be appearing on the Blu-ray. And the same for Curse of Fenric. We'll be taking a look at the original TV broadcast version and special edition in its review, but not the VHS version, as that's on the upcoming season 26 Blu-ray. I'm just taking a look at what's on the DVDs. And that's why I didn't do a Silver Nemesis special edition review, just Silver Nemesis. Because the special edition didn't get, the extended edition, I should say, didn't get released on the DVD for some reason. Just the VHS, maybe the season 25 Blu-ray if they're able to. We'll see. But anyway, that's it from me. Thank you for watching. See you for the season 25 ranking and for the season and for the start of the season 26 reviews. Goodbye. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Nicholas Payne Retro YouTube channel. Yeah, it must have been three weeks before, originally 3 weeks earlier. It was originally planned 3 weeks earlier to what it actually was, so that they could then get a 4-part story. Was it or would it be 5 weeks? Was it 4 weeks and 3 weeks and then Silver Nemesis? To have this story, it would have to be 1. It was a couple. Hang on. 4, 4, 3. And what we got was 3, 4, 3, 3. So you need an extra 1. There. And stop fucking Fleming. And I think he did a good. Goodness, this story has a lot of suicide in this before and he gets to sing and sort of rap. He's the greatest. At the time, it wasn't so much. Although in a 2015 story, yeah, I don't think it's 100% perfect, but I still think it's pretty good.
And that's the sketch done.